Welcome back to Midco Sports Magazine. We've heard that age is only a number, right? And that plays into our next story. But to true competitors in our region, the only number that they really care about is being number one. In our next story, Jolene Loetscher introduces us to a Sioux Falls man who is chasing number one as he makes the jump from coaching to motocross racing.
When you fly through the air,
I have had 4 or 5 busted collarbones.
there's the grace, and then there's the ground.
I've had 1 busted shoulder. I busted that at Yankton.
And Jim Denevan of Sioux Falls knows that all too well.
I've had 4 stents put in for the heart.
At 75, he defies gravity and age, and don't expect either to sideline his spunk.
Other than that, I'm in pretty good shape.
Or his stories.
Fort Calhoun, Nebraska.
Like in 1982,
54 riders, I think it was, something like that. There's 63, if my math is better.
and the great-grandfather with a doctorate in health can also detail every detail of his worst crash.
Came right down on me. Broke my sternum, my collarbone, 4 ribs, tore the muscles off my back. I idled. It stretched them out so that every time I moved, they'd go into contraction.
So while most men his age may talk about the big one that got away or golfing glory,
To solve an ulcer, some people take up golf. I took up motocross.
this snowbird brushes off the rough patches as quickly as he brushes off the dust.
I've always been older than everybody else.
Or any comments about being crazy.
I've been told that. I just don't pay any attention.
But he started paying attention to the sport about 30 years ago. That's when he coached baseball at Southwest Minnesota State University in Marshall.
I got started out of necessity, I think. I had an old dirt bike, happened to find out there was a race over at Edward Falls, Minnesota.
Not how you expect the ride of a lifetime to start.
Rode a lap and fell down, rode a lap and fell down, and I was hooked. I mean, that was it.
Getting dirty cleaned his mind.
Then I discovered that if I go racing on Sunday, I don't think about how bad my baseball team has played on Saturday, and I don't chew them out quite as much, and we kind of get along better.
And he just kept going, traveling with his team for games and then going with new generations of his family to race.
There's one person you won't find out here, though. That's Marilyn, Jim's wife of more than 50 years. She says she learned a long time ago that he'll get hurt, and she just doesn't want to be here to see it happen.
She thinks that's a heck of a lot of money you spent for nothing.
So instead of a garage for a gearhead, here you find a trophy room. Or rather, a trophy wall.
That's what I have left, just plaques off of each trophy.
Because when Marilyn said it all added up to be too much in the house, Jim gave away the cycling trophies to be recycled by the Lake Benton FFA.
You talk about people being with you thick or thin, she's with me thick. If you get in there first, there is no better rush.
Jim takes to the track with riders not even born the year he became eligible for AARP. As for when he hangs up his helmet,
I tried to tell my buddies, this is the farewell tour. I said, every band goes on a farewell tour, and I'm not trying to make a comeback.
so while he's slowed down some, doing just a couple races a year now, Jim keeps his competitive spirit in high gear.
That's the only old-timer series I have not won.
And when it comes to aging,
You looked at me, I'm not very graceful.
Jolene, Jim's obviously proved that he can do this now. Is he done, or what's he going to do next?
Well, he talks that he's going to slow down, that retirement's in the future, but honestly, I don't really buy too much of that. He still has one series that he wants to win. That's the Old Timer Series. And couple that with the fact that he says his idol is a friend of his, also a motocross racer, who's 82. So I don't know about slowing down or retirement anytime soon for him.
But Jim is twice as old, literally, as these guys he's racing with. What about these crazy guys?
Yeah, there's a group of them. They all go out to Sioux Valley Cycle Club out by Renner, and they practice. And these guys that he's with are mid-30s to late 40s. Their wives are saying, hey, you got to give it up. You got to at least slow down. And they say, hey, when Jim Denevan retires, I'll retire. So I think he kind of feels an obligation to these younger guys to keep racing so that they have an excuse for the wives at least.
All right. Thanks, Jolene.
Thanks, Tom.